are going to discuss the nasopulmonary drug delivery system. So this is a disclaimer for the viewers. So in this session, we are going to discuss nasal dosage form and the devices. So let us see the nasal dosage form and devices. Nasal dosage forms are divided into the nasal drops, nasal sprays, nasal gels, microspheres, nasal powders, and certain novel dosage forms. Nasal drops and sprays, these are the liquid formulation. Then the nasal gels, these are the semi-solid formulation. Microspheres and nasal powders, these are the solid formulations. And novel dosage form, depending on their consistency or state, it may be categorized into the solid, liquid, or the aerosol type of the formulation, that is the gaseous type of formulation. So the nasal dosage forms are divided into the nasal drops, nasal sprays, nasal gels, microspheres, nasal powders, and novel dosage form. Here I'm going to cover only the nasal drops, nasal sprays, nasal gels, microspheres, and nasal powders. So let us see the nasal dosage forms. Very first one, that is the nasal drops. So the nasal drops are one of the most simple and convenient system developed for nasal delivery. It's a very easy for the formulation. It is possible to formulate the nasal solutions, isn't it? The main disadvantage of nasal drop is the lack of the dose precision, because we are using the various containers to deliver the nasal solutions, isn't it? And it is not possible to get the accurate dose precision. Nasal drops can be delivered with a pipette or by a squeezy bottle. So here it's a squeezy bottle. Here I have shown the dropper. So with the help of dropper also it is possible to instill the nasal drops into the nasal cavity, isn't it? Or certain types of the applicators which can be used to instill the drug into the nasal cavity. These formulations are usually recommended for the treatment of local conditions, isn't it? Local conditions of the nasal cavity. But the challenges involved in the development of the nasal drops are the microbial growth, mucociliary clearance, and the non-specific loss from the nose or down back the throat, isn't it? There is a loss of the formulation from the nasal cavity. Here I have shown some formulations which are available in the market in the form of the nasal drop, right? So this is first one, that is the Otrivin nasal spray formulation it is. Then here it's a saline nasal drop, isn't it? And here it's how it is to be instilled, how the nasal drops are being instilled to the patients, isn't it? This very first one, it is a spray type of formulation, isn't it? And second one, it is a drop type of the formulation. So this is about the nasal drops. Let us see the nasal sprays. Nasal spray system consists of a chamber, a piston, and a operating actuator. These are comparatively more accurate than drops and generate precise dosage per spray. So here look at the images. So here it is a nasocort spray is there, isn't it? And this is the second type of the container which will produce the spray. Here it's an actuator. We have to suppose to press this operating actuator so as to the content or the liquid, it is going to be sprayed into the nostrils. It can produce consistent doses of a reproducible plume geometry. Formulation properties such as thixotropy, then surface tension and viscosity can potentially influence the droplet size and the dose accuracy. So in the case of liquid nasal spray formulation, the properties like a thixotropy, surface tension and viscosity going to influence the droplet size and the dose accuracy. Other factors such as applied force, then the orifice size and design of the pump can also affect the droplet size, which can impact the nasal deposition of sprays. This is about the nasal sprays. Let us see the nasal gels. Nasal gels are highly viscosity thickened solutions or the suspensions. It is possible to prepare the nasal gels by using the various polymers. They can range from viscous solution by using HPMC, then the methyl cellulose, xanthan gum and chitosan to very hard and brittle gels by using the gellan gum, pectin and the alginate. It is possible to use the bioadhesive formulation in the case of nasal gel, which is going to increase the residence time of the gel into the nasal cavity. So bioadhesive polymer prolongs contact time afforded at a site of absorption, can improve the drug viability by slowing down the mucociliary movement. Irritation produced by the nasal gel can be reduced by using certain emollient excipient. We have to suppose to add certain emollient excipients so as to it is possible to reduce the nasal irritation produced by the nasal gels. Nasal gel reduces the post-nasal drip due to high viscosity. As the gels are the semi-solid formulation, they are having a high viscosity, so they are going to reduce the post-nasal drip. The test impact due to reduced swallowing and anterior leakage of the formulation. So it is possible to prevent the test impact due to swallowing and anterior leakage of the formulation. So these things we are getting in the case of the nasal drops, isn't it? Or nasal formulation, other formulations like a liquid formulation. There is yet another approach, it is available with us, that is formulation of the in situ nasal gels. So in situ gel forming polymeric formulations by using the poloxamer 407. In situ gel forming polymeric formulations are in a solution form before administration. So when this formulation present in the container, it is present in the solution form, and when it exposed to the nasal cavity, it gets converted into the gel form. That is a salt to gel formation is there. This is yet another approach to deliver the drugs to the nasal cavity. The formulation of gels, that is in situ gels, depends on the factors like temperature modulation, pH change, and the presence of ions from which the drug gets released in a sustained or controlled manner. So here we can use the approach of a temperature modulation or the pH change in order to convert the solution of the polymer into the gel form in the nasal cavity. That is a in situ gel type of the formulation. So this is here I have shown the Otrivin nasal gel formulation. So this is about the nasal gels. Microspheres, it is a yet another approach, another type of a dosage form. It provides prolonged contact with the nasal mucosa. Here we are using so many types of the polymers to prepare the microspheres, and the bioadhesive polymers may increase the prolonged contact with the nasal mucosa. The powdered microspheres swell in contact with the nasal mucosa to form a gel and control the rate of clearance from the nasal cavity. As the powdered microspheres, they are going to swell in the nasal cavity. Furthermore, they are going to be adhered to the nasal mucosa and thereby prevents the mucociliary clearance in the nasal cavity. Thus, increase the absorption and bioavailability by adhering to the nasal mucosa and increase nasal residence time of the drug. The ideal microsphere particle size requirement for nasal delivery should range from 10 to 50 micrometer as smaller particle. These microspheres prepared by using the mucoadhesive polymers. So microspheres, it is a yet another approach which is used for the preparation of nasal dosage form. They are prepared as a powdered microspheres to deliver the certain drugs. Let us see the nasal powders. Nasal powder dosage forms are simply formulated by using the drug with feelers. Certain feelers are required while preparing the nasal powders. There are two types of techniques are used to prepare the nasal powders. That is very first one, that is a spray drying, and second one, that is a freeze drying. So these are the two techniques which are used to prepare the nasal powders. These are also formulated with the bioadhesive polymers. So as to the powder formulation, it is going to retain for long time into the nasal cavity. The main drawback of nasal powders, that is the irritation. So here I have shown the nasal powders and how it is going to be sprayed into the nasal cavity, that is with the help of squeeze bottles, is it? Let us see the nasal delivery devices. Very first one, for the liquid formulation. As you know that now there are two types of the formulations are there which are used for the nasal cavity. Very first one is the liquid formulation and second one is a solid formulation, that is a powder. So first of all, we will see the liquid nasal formulation, devices for the liquid nasal formulation. Liquid preparations are the most widely used dosage form for nasal administration of drug. They are mainly based on aqueous state formulation. Their humidifying effect is convenient and useful since many allergic and chronic diseases are often connected with the crust and drying of the mucous membrane. The main important thing, that is the microbiological stability, irritation, and allergic rhinitis are the major drawbacks associated with the water-based dosage forms because they require the preservatives and which are going to impair the mucociliary function. There are various devices which are used for the liquid formulation. So very first one, that is the instillation and Rhinyle catheter. So the catheters are used to deliver the drops to a specified region of nasal cavity easily. So it is possible to use the catheter to instill the nasal drop. Place the formulation in the tube and keep the tube one end was positioned in the nose and the solution was delivered into the nasal cavity by blowing through the other end by mouth. So it's a simply the tube which contains the nasal formulation, liquid formulation. We have to supposed to place one end into the nasal cavity and just blow the formulation into the nasal cavity. isn't it? So this is about the instillation and Rhinyle catheter. Let us see the remaining nasal delivery devices for the liquid formulations. That is the compressed air nebulizers and squeezed bottles. So nebulizer is a device used to administer medication in the form of a mist inhaled to the lungs. Specifically, it is possible to use these things for the nasal delivery also. The compressed air is filling into the device, so it is called as a compressed air nebulizers. The common technical principle for all nebulizers is to either oxygen, compressed air, ultrasonic power as a means of breakup medical solutions, suspensions into small aerosol droplets for direct inhalation from the mouthpiece of the device. We are going to see the details about the nebulizers in a pulmonary drug delivery system. There are so many delivery devices are there which are widely used for the nasal as well as the pulmonary drug delivery system. Let us see the squeezed bottles. Squeezed nasal bottles are mainly used as a delivery device for the decongestants. They include a smooth plastic bottle with a simple jet outlet. While pressing the plastic bottle, the air inside the container is pressed out of the small nozzle and thereby atomizing a certain volume. By releasing the pressure again, air is drawn inside the bottle. And this procedure is often result in a contamination of the liquid by microorganism and nasal secretion gets sucked inside the container. So this is about the squeezed bottle. Simply the formulation, it is placed into the squeezed bottle. We have to suppose to press the bottle. So automatically the solution, it is going to be sprayed into the nasal cavity, right? And we have to suppose to release pressure again. So automatically air is drawn inside the bottle and there may be the chances of contamination of the container and some fluid gets sucked inside to the bottle. Let us see the metered dose pump sprays. Most of the pharmaceutical nasal preparations on the market containing the solutions, emulsions and suspensions are delivered by the metered dose pump sprays. So here I have shown the metered dose pump sprays. Nasal sprays or nasal mists are used for the nasal delivery of a drug or drugs either locally to generally alleviate cold or allergy symptoms such as nasal congestion or for the systemic delivery of the drug. Although delivery methods vary, most nasal spray functions by instilling a fine mist into the nostril by action of hand operated pump mechanism. The three main types available for local effect are antihistamines, corticosteroids, and topical decongestant. In the case of metered dose pump sprays, which contains the container, pump with valve, and the actuator, isn't it? So this is about the metered dose pump sprays. The formulations which are delivered like solutions, emulsions, and suspensions in the form of sprays or the nasal mist, right? It comprises the instilling a fine mist into the nostril by action of a hand operated pump mechanism, and it consists of the container, pump with the valve, and the actuator. So this is about the metered dose pump sprays. Let us see the nasal delivery devices for powder dosage forms. That's already we have discussed the powder dosage form. So these are the dry powders are less frequently used in the nasal drug delivery. The major advantage of this dosage form are the lack of preservatives and the improved stability of the formulation. In the case of liquid formulation, we have to supposed to use the preservatives, and there may be the chances of microbial growth in the case of liquid formulation. Compared to solution, the administration of powder could result in a prolonged contact with the nasal mucosa, and thereby which improves the viability. Generally, we are using the insufflators to deliver the powder dosage forms. So insufflators are the devices to deliver the drug substance for inhalation. It can be constructed by using a straw or a tube which contains a drug substance, and sometimes it contains syringe also. So it is constructed by using a straw or a tube which contains a drug substance, and sometimes it contains a syringe also. The achieved particle size of this system, it is often increased compared to the particle size of the powder particles due to insufficient deaggregation of the particles, and results in a high coefficient of variation for initial deposition areas. Many insufflator systems works with a pre-dose powder dosage in the capsule. So this is about the insufflator type of device which is used for the powder dosage form. So here I have listed the various devices which are used for the nasal delivery of the various solids and liquid formulation. So in the case of liquid formulation, generally we are using Rhinyle catheter and squirt tube, then squeeze bottles, metered dose spray pumps, then single dose spray device, dew dose spray device, nasal pressurized metered dose inhalers. In the case of powder nebulizers and atomizers, we are using VibrENT pulsation membrane nebulizer, Aeroneb Solo vibrating mesh nebulizer, ViaNase atomizer, Impel nitrogen driven atomizer. In the case of powder devices, powder formulations, we are using powder sprayers, breath-actuated inhalers, nasal insufflators, nasal powder inhalers, nasal powder sprayers, nasal powder insufflators. Yet another novel technology is available, that is known as a breath-powered bidirectional technology. So these are the certain nasal delivery devices which are widely used to deliver the nasal dosage form. Let us see the few details about the nasal delivery devices. So very first one, that is a rhinocort pulverizer, rhinocort pulverizer from Tegene. It is designed for the beclomethasone. So this is the device which comprises of rubber bulb, closing cap, cleaning brusher, and pursing cap. Then the Onzetra XL, it contains the sumatriptan. The name of the device that is known as the Optinose device. So this is the Optinose device. Here it's a nose piece, isn't it? And here it's a mouthpiece. Then the Baqsimi device, it is used for to deliver the glucagon powder nasally. So this is the Baqsimi device which is used for the delivery of glucagon to the nose. Then the ViaNase electronic atomizer, that is a nasal spray, it is used for controlled particle dispersion. So this is the ViaNase system, isn't it? Which is used for the controlled particle dispersion system, and the drug or formulation, it is going to be delivered in the form of the nasal spray. Then the Aeroneb Solo vibrating mesh nebulizer. So this is the Aeroneb Solo vibrating mesh nebulizer. So this is the electronic device, and here it's a nebulizer. Then Impel nitrogen driven atomizer. It is generally used for the nose to brain delivery, isn't it? With the help of nitrogen gas. So here it is a nitrogen gas. This is the electronic device. Then here we have to supposed to place the formulation screen, and this is the nozzle, and this is the device body. Then the direct Heller device, which consists of, so this is the direct Heller device. Here it's a cap, this is the mouthpiece, and this is the nose piece, right? Here it's a valve for control the airflow, and this is the powder chamber, right? Then vibrant pulsation membrane nebulizer. This is yet another technology or a device which is developed by the Puri. That is the name of the device is the Puri-Sinus, and it is used to deliver the drug nasally. That is a vibrant pulsation membrane nebulizer. So here we have finished the nasal dosage forms and the delivery devices.